All right, guys, how we doing? Welcome to Truth and Transparency. I'm gonna let those notifications click in. Want to thank you guys for being here. Happy New Year. Wishing everybody the best in 2023. Hello to the mods, the members, subscribers. If you're not a subscriber yet, it's completely free. You just got to hit the click subscribe button, and then you can hit one of those bells if you want to be reminded. So that way you don't miss it live and you get to talk to people and use that live chat feature so long as you are respectful of others. Again, welcome to Truth and Transparency. Tomorrow for the hearing, surprisingly, Pennsylvania usually does not allow any cameras in their courtrooms, but the hearing will be available. So we'll have that here. And Scott Roeder will be with me tomorrow. So Scott Roeder will be here tomorrow with me. All right, here we go.
Poconos wants answers after she mysteriously vanished 25 days ago.
2822 Eyewitness News reporter Sydney Costas live for us in Stroudsburg. She's got more with the family's concerns tonight. Sydney?
Nick, Candace, 45-year-old Dana Smithers has been missing for nearly a month now. She was last seen here on Stokes Avenue. I spoke to her daughter-in-law today about what Dana was doing that day and when they decided to call police.
Someone doesn't just disappear. You don't just vanish out of the air and are never seen again.
Bryan Kohberger is the daughter-in-law of Dana Smithers, a Stroudsburg woman who's been missing since Saturday, May 28th.
Dana is very outgoing. She is the type of person who will start up a conversation with you in the grocery store and like you just made a lifelong friend. She is very outgoing. She is she can make anybody laugh.
Kohberger says that Saturday, Dana went to a street festival at a local restaurant with her 6-year-old daughter. Later that night, she walked a few houses down to a friend's home on Stokes Avenue. That's when she was last seen on a Ring camera after 11 p.m. The next morning, her cell phone and medication left behind at her home with no sign of Dana.
Her purse, her wallet, her car, everything that she would bring, you would bring with you anywhere you go is at the house.
Dana's family reached out to Stroud Area Regional Police after no one heard from her for 2 days. State police have since joined the investigation. On Wednesday, law enforcement searched the area of Glen Park but found nothing. Dana was last wearing black jeans and a burgundy shirt. Kohberger says each day brings more discouragement and they need the public's help to find her.
Someone has to know something. You know, she has children, she has a small child, and she deserves to have her mom in her life.
Dana's family has been hanging missing person signs in the area just like this one. Anyone with any information on the whereabouts of Dana Smithers is urged to call Stroud.
Again, hello and welcome to Truth and Transparency. Thank you guys for being here. All right, not sure if some of you guys are familiar or not with the case, but I do want to read off the following. December 14th, 2022, there was an update, and Dana's sister had talked to Dateline. Go ahead and take a listen here. Sister hoping for new clues in disappearance of Pennsylvania woman Dana Smithers, last seen on camera 7 months ago. The 45-year-old was last seen on May 28th, 2022, leaving her neighbor's house. Wait till you hear the circumstances surrounding this. Her phone, purse, and other personal items were later recovered at her house. Her kids need her. I need her. My mom needs her. Stacy Smithers told Dateline. We need to know what happened. Stacy's younger sister, 45-year-old Dana Smithers, had been missing since May 28th, 2022. I was finally getting my sister back, and then this happened, Stacy said. Stacy and Dana grew up in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. We're basically at the end of the Poconos, Stacy said. It's a resort community. Really nice growing up here. Stacy told Dateline that growing up, the sisters were very close. Stacy added that her sister has a very boisterous laugh and is always having fun. We used to like it when she had a cold, Stacy said, because she was calm. Stacy told Dateline that Dana has 3 children, a 25-year-old son, a 23-year-old daughter, and a 7-year-old daughter. According to Stacy, Dana's children are her whole world. She didn't do anything that didn't involve her kids, she said. That was her thing. I mean, she was just always there. It was all for her kids. According to Stacy, Dana and her youngest daughter live with Dana and Stacy's mother in Stroudsburg. Stacy told Dateline that Dana and her youngest daughter went to spend some time with the daughter's father earlier in the day on May 28th. Stacy said that Dana and her daughter's father were no longer together, but still maintained an amicable relationship. She said that 3 of them went to a festival at the Happy Hour Bar and Grill in Stroudsburg and were quote unquote walking around saying hi to everyone. They were dancing, having a good time. Stacy said the 3 of them then left and went back to Dana's house. After returning home, Dana walked over to see if Tara, her neighbor, wanted to come over and hang out on the patio. Tara is Dana's lifelong friend and neighbor. Tara said that we're best friends. She's been my neighbor for 16 years. Tara told Dateline. We've raised our children together. Tara told Dateline she saw Dana earlier that day. She was driving home from work, and I was walking, and there she was, and she's like, hey, you coming to the street festival, she recalled. She's like, hey, yep, I'll see you over there. Tara said she saw Dana at the festival and that it was really fun. Later that night, Dana came over to her place, she said. According to Tara, the 2 only lived a few houses down from one another. So dropping in was a regular occurrence. It was an open door policy, just like with her. So she came in and she was here for a little bit. I don't know if she was nervous. I'm not sure what was going on with her, Tara told Dateline, but that Dana had smoked a cigarette at her house, which led her to believe that she could have been nervous or something, that she was like on edge. If I would have known that that was the last time I would have seen her, I would have definitely asked her more questions, but I was sort of like, I'm going to bed. Tara said that Dana asked her to come over to her place and hang out. But since it was late, Tara declined. She was like, I'm going to bed. I'm like exhausted. Tara said that when Dana left, she was captured on Tara's Ring camera. She had her phone in her hand. It was around 11 p.m. That was the last time anyone saw her, Stacy said of her sister. My mother called me the morning of the 29th, which was Sunday, and asked me if I had talked to her. She said no. She said, "Well, Dana didn't come home last night." According to Stacy, that wasn't the first time Dana didn't come home. Dana has stayed out overnight and not called anybody, but it hasn't happened recently. But she's 45 years old. We don't always check in with our parents. But what was highly unusual, Stacy said, is that Dana's phone and car keys were found at the house. So Dana had her phone on her and it's seen in the Ring camera. We're going to take a look at that footage again. And that phone somehow ends back up in Dana's house, but Dana's never seen again. The last time she is seen is just walking to and out of that house, to literally walk just a couple houses down to then get into her own home. Again, what is unusual, it's highly unusual, Stacy said, is that Dana's phone, her car keys were found at the house. If she was going to go, out and do something, she would have taken her car. She always took her pills with, her purse, her medications in there, her cell phone, her keys, they were all at the house. Stacy told Dateline that her sister did struggle on and off with substance abuse, but had been doing much better. So taking her prescribed pills was extremely important to her. "I'm not going to sit here and tell you that my sister was an angel," Stacy said, but her meds had been adjusted recently by her primary care physician, and in my opinion, she was getting much better, Stacy said, adding that she and her sister were getting close again. Tara told Dateline that she never thought Dana was using again. "She could have told me, but I really don't think it was that," Tara said. By Monday, May 30th, Memorial Day, Stacy said she knew something was definitely wrong. Dana and her children, they have a family tradition where every Memorial Day they go to a park in Pennsylvania. She would not have missed Memorial Day. But Dana did miss Memorial Day, and she hasn't been seen since. Again, now I want you guys to check this out from just this beginning part one more time. This is the same month that Bryan posted in Reddit. And this is his hometown.
Wants answers after she mysteriously vanished 25 days ago.
2822 Eyewitness News reporter Sydney Costas live for us in Stroudsburg. She's got more with the family's concerns tonight. Sydney?
Nick, Candace, 45-year-old Dana Smithers has been missing for nearly a month now. She was last seen here on Stokes Avenue. I spoke to her daughter-in-law today about what Dana was doing that day and when they decided to call police.
Someone doesn't just disappear. You don't just vanish out of the air and are never seen again.
Bryan Kohberger is the daughter-in-law of Dana Smithers, a Stroudsburg woman who's been missing since Saturday, May 28th.
Dana is very outgoing. She is the type of person who will start up a conversation with you in the grocery store and like you just made a lifelong friend. She is very outgoing. She is she can make anybody laugh.
Kohberger says that Saturday, Dana went to a street festival at a local restaurant with her 6-year-old daughter. Later that night, she walked a few houses down to a friend's home on Stokes Avenue. That's when she was last seen on a Ring camera after 11 p.m. The next morning, her cell phone and medication left behind at her home with no sign of Dana.
Her purse, her wallet, her car, everything that she would bring, you would bring with you anywhere you go is at the house.
Dana's family reached out to Stroud Area Regional Police after no one heard from her for 2 days. State police have since joined the investigation. On Wednesday, law enforcement searched the area of Glen Park but found nothing. Dana was last wearing black jeans and a burgundy shirt. Kohberger says each day brings more discouragement and they need the public's help to find her.
Someone has to know something. She has children, she has a small child, and she deserves to have her mom in her life.
Dana's family has been hanging missing person signs in the area just like this one. Anyone with any information on the whereabouts of Dana Smithers is urged to call Stroud.
All right, some of the similarities is on May 28, 2022, that was a long weekend, just like 11, 13, that weekend was a long weekend. So was Veterans Weekend in Washington. Well, May 28th was a weekend that he would have been, is also a long weekend. This is the Ring camera, okay? So at the time of her disappearance here, they wouldn't have anything to go off of. So now if there's more surveillance, this is a tip, okay, going out that to check these people's rings to see if a white Elantra, okay, because maybe if there is no trace of um, DNA or anything going to be in his car of the Elantra from anybody that was at the 1122 King, maybe it's of somebody else. Um, but literally, she walks out of her home like this, okay? And she just has to go a couple houses down to then where she lives with her mom and her daughter. And they were over there waiting for her to come back. She was bringing back Tara. She was bringing her back if she wanted to come and hang out on the patio, on the back patio. So basically, she was at a bar earlier with her daughter. They were at, it was like, obviously it's the Memorial Day weekend. They were at the festival, but they were also at a bar. Same kind of MO with Kaylee Madison. They were at a bar. Okay. They left they left a bar in terms of being followed. Now, this is what's interesting here is that you see in her hand right there, I stopped it there perfectly. She has her cell phone in her hand. Okay. Well, we know that the person at 1122, whoever went in there, they wanted to go in that home. Okay. They wanted to let people know that this person's who they arrest now, it's Bryan. That's who they're saying did this. Well, he had no problem going in someone's home. Okay. 1122 King, November 12th, 13th. Morning. And now here you have her cell phone is in her hand, and her cell phone is found in her home though, with her keys and everything. That's found in her home. All right. So now is that a car off there to the left that's in the dark over there to the left? Again, this would be the same month, May of 2022, is the same month that Bryan Kohberger had just posted his research social media post. Bryan's parents, this is the same town, this is the same county, Poconos. Okay. It's a 34-minute drive. So just so you guys know, it was a little over a 20-minute drive for Bryan from his apartment, depending on what time of day that he actually, ventured over there. 20 minutes. This is 34 minutes. Okay. So, if there's a way to look at Bryan's past, if they're going to be pulling all of his bank financials, which they're going to be doing, take a look at his financials and see if Bryan Kohberger was at that happy hour pub. Did he have any transactions there? I'm sure he probably used cash, but maybe he can be pinged there. Was he at this festival? Okay. Wait, phone. What about her phone? Her phone was found in her home. So, if you were to snatch her up while she's walking, okay. Her phone, though, it was found inside the house. Yeah, it's like her phone was in her hand, as you guys just saw that. Um, but she's inside the home, or I'm sorry, she never goes back into the home. They never see her again. Her purse was there, her keys were there. Okay, her phone was there, everything was there. So how is this possible? Well, this is her neighbor Tara. This is the ring footage from Tara's. I'm positive it's a phone. They talk about it. It's 100% a phone. Right there. That's her phone in her left hand. That's 100% her phone. And it says it in the reports, but I wanted to break down and you could see it. She doesn't have two phones. Right there. Her phone's in her left hand there. Okay. No ring cam footage of her going back in the house. This is her friend's house that she's leaving. She just has to go 2 houses to the right and she'd be walking into her own home. Okay. Again, Dana struggled with substance abuse, according to her public arrest record. Her sister also said it. Curious if their paths had ever crossed because of the area that they both grew up at, like around. Again, that's just her leaving. That's her friend Tara's house. She just walked across the street or walked next door, and the ring camera, so it shows that like, hey, Tara's not lying. She left. Okay, that's the last known picture of her. She's not seen on any other, well, maybe now if they took the footage and if they saved all the stuff from back, in May, they could now go through some stuff and possibly see a white Elantra. How crazy would that be? If not, hey, but this is the same area, and we have to start talking about all the miles that Bryan was putting on his car. Bryan was putting a lot of miles on his vehicle, and we're going to get to that. But the police want leads. Well, here you go. I think this is something that you'd want to look at. Bryan's past. Take a look at this. Was he home at his parents' for that long weekend? All right, I went ahead and put this up there to show you guys that on that Friday, November 11th, there was no schools for any of the colleges. So again, here's your long weekend. So Bryan did not have school on Friday 11/11. Going to go ahead and point out this 6 foot 185. His address. Okay. He went ahead and changed this. We're going to talk about that. You guys know it was his birthday, right? his birthday was 11/21. So right around your birthday, you have to do what? You have to get new tags and plates depending on the year. Was he up? And that's why he had to change and get the new tags and the plates. Was it because of his birthday? Because we're going to go just a little bit further. Thank you there, Tom. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Put my brain to work. Yep, sure will here. Thank you. How did he get his license plate changed? So it was his birthday, and you know what you got to do? You got to get, depending if it was going to expire. Okay, so on January 26th, it was serviced for a tire repair, 96,000 miles, 96,531. Okay. On 4/20, the title, it was updated, and 101,000. So you're looking at 5,000 miles. Okay. Again, that'd be during the school, the winter and PA in the school year. So it's during the winter and the school year. And now we get to 8/15/2022. This would be the day before the party that they had on 8/16. So 111,000 miles. So if you're driving from Pennsylvania to Washington, right there is going to be 2,000 of the miles. So basically, after he did his little cross country, he did his tires, oil. Okay. Let's see. I want to back up right there. Okay. Okay. So yeah, in 4 months. So you got May, June, July, and then August. So 4 months. And that's that 10,000 miles in 4 months. Okay. I personally don't believe, this is my opinion, I personally don't believe that what happened at 1122 King was Bryan's first rodeo. I also believe that if he's been studying stuff, he knows that his MO can't be the same. So he's been switching up how he's been doing things. Your MO can't be the same. I think that he's been doing a lot of driving. Okay. 11/18. This is when the title issued or registration update when owner moved the vehicle to a new location. Vehicle color noted as white. Something that I think is interesting with that is just to even note that. I want to know if that's normal to even put that on there. So 11/18, again, this would be just a couple days before his birthday. So his registration update when owner moved the vehicle, it's because he needed to go get a new license. That's what I believe. I believe that it was that time that he had to go get a new license while he was living in Washington at the time. So he needed to then go ahead and put down, well, you have to register your car because the tags are going to be expired on your birthday. So when that happens, you go and you take care of it. So here we at least know that he's still in Washington on 11/18. Yeah, interesting that they don't have the miles there. When people are looking at the miles over here, he would have only put on to go from, where is it? Right here. On 4/20/2022, his lease began July 1st of 2022. That's how the housing worked where he was living at Steptoe. So that began in July when he would actually be like officially on for the lease. It goes from July 1st to June 30th. That's how they work there at Steptoe. So his drive from 4/20 to 8/15, there's only going to be one set of the 2,000 miles. It's not like it's going to be there and back. He didn't do that yet. He only drove out there once. So it's 2,000 of the 10,000 miles. Okay. So he made his driving. He was doing a lot of driving during that summer. So I don't know if before he started, he's like, hey, I want to travel and go see places. It's going to be interesting. But they're going to follow his bank records. They're going to follow, all of his social media. But they're going to scour through his bank records like crazy. Okay. So on 12/1, this is just a recall. Like, this doesn't mean he went anywhere. This is just a manufacturer service campaign issued. So my understanding of this is just like, hey, check for this. Okay. His ticket. I put in for body cam footage for that. I'm waiting to get back like 4 different dates that I asked for, by the way, and trying to deal with Washington State University. So want to know what you guys think so far about what you've seen. Again, welcome. Those of you guys joining us a little bit late, welcome. Go ahead and rewind it. You guys can take a look. A lot of driving for someone that's going to school. I don't know where he was doing like these research, if he had a drive to conduct his little research. I don't know if he was using that to meet up with people that had gotten away with these crimes. I do think that he is. I think he was trying to be the best, and he was been studying the different killers over the years. He would know that you can't have an MO. So when you want to go look at cases, you're not going to want to stab. If you stab somebody, if you shoot somebody, if you do this, if you switch up what you're doing, you're not going to get caught, and you're going to go down as one of the most notorious serial killers. Okay, that's something that I'm excited for you guys to listen to what Scott has to say more about that. Scott thinks that those miles for somebody doing what they're supposed to be doing, how do you put that many miles on your car? Where are you driving to? What are you doing? And that should be reflective of your bank records. Because if you're saying you're going to places, you should be spending money if you're going to go see stuff. Yes, they did say that he got pulled over 2 times in Indiana. Again, I'm going to try to get my hands on everything that I can. This is something that when I talked to Scott today for a lengthy time, he's like, Lana, this is not his first. You don't go and kill 4 people. And I'm really interested to hear when this all comes out, because I believe that he's not going to take a plea deal. He's going to trial. This is the spotlight that he wants to be on. And that I'm interested to know if in fact the roommates weren't home, but that they said that they were home to mess with him. So I'm very, very curious to know if this, if we're going to talk about tactic and how smart it would be to do something like this, is that by putting it out there that the roommates were home and Bryan hears that and is like, wait, what? Can anyone explain the registration thing? In Ireland, we sign tax book when we buy vehicle, then owner does when we sell it. Not familiar with process. Or does it say it's registered in his name? It just says that it changed over. So let's hold on. So again, that's showing that weekend was a long weekend. Friday did not have school. That means he didn't have school. He didn't teach. And then right here, he changed it. Well, he changes his well, this is what's interesting, guys. I don't know if when he got pulled over, I almost forgot to mention this. When he got pulled over and he had to show his license, okay, he already changed his license. So this is from his ticket. He already had this down. That's supposedly what he showed on his ticket, that he already had that address. So I'm looking into that because then that would change a couple things up. Again, so when he would have gotten pulled over on August 21st, he was at the intersection of Pullman Road and Farm Road, I believe. And I want to know what's on his driver's license then. He gets pulled over on 8/20. So the question here is someone saying anonymous, Lucy, so he committed the murders if he's guilty and then changed the state registration of the car and would have gotten a new tag. Yeah, his birthday was also 11/21. So when you live in a different state at the time when that has to happen, and that's where your car is, when I lived in Florida, I wasn't there that long, so I didn't change my permanent address. I'm just shocked that he wanted to change his permanent address. So yeah, in Ohio, your tags are going to expire. You have to get new tags. And it depends on how you buy them. You could buy it so that they last for a year. They last for 2 years. And now I think they've upped it so you can do 3 years at a time. So it's just going to depend on, is all of this true and accurate information? But I mean, the news went out on December 7th that they were looking for a white Elantra. I mean, what do you think happened when he heard that? We're looking for anybody that would have been in the vehicle of a white Elantra. Well, I can't believe that nobody in Washington State, you're right there. It's all over the news. How does nobody see this white Elantra? Was this white Elantra parked in, did he have a storage unit? Was he not parking it there and he was just walking everywhere from that point? I mean, I don't know. Oh, thanks, Mystical. You rock, Lana, always getting all the really important stuff no one else does. Well, I think that I think that this guy's dangerous because he's calculated. I think that he's been studying this, um, but I think there's been a goal for him, and the notoriety that would come like with all of this is something that he. I'm just saying, let's say that nothing's in the Elantra. Let's say that there's no DNA in there. There's no, they process this Elantra, and there's nothing in that Elantra, and the only thing that's tying him to that house is this white Elantra. Well, But what if in his apartment or that house that they were able to come across Dana's DNA, okay? Or something of Dana's? Like, I'm just trying to get it so that any way possible, that this guy's past could have. I just don't believe that this was his first. You move to Washington and you're there for 10 weeks and you kill 4 people. By, and you leave 2 other people there. Um, Within a 10-week period, like, what could have possibly happened in a 10-week period? And it's like, how could any of these girls have made you, like, this pissed off, or, that you would be in such rage? And I just don't think that you would. I think that, um, this is somebody that I think did something, around that long weekend in Memorial Weekend. Um, I would look around Labor Day weekend, and Veterans Day was a long weekend. I think that he comes across people as he's maybe out and about. So, like, yeah, he's a vegan, right? Well, when you Google, what pops up? Oh, the place that they, 2 of them worked at. You know what I'm saying? So, like, right there. Um, but I think something that he does is things are like opportunities for him, but then he doesn't act on just like that first opportunity. Then he creates the perfect scenario. And then I think that he would change every way that he would do something. Um, that's what I think that this guy was trying, to do. Um, yep, of course but that restaurant also serves meat. Maybe he had a run in bad with that. Maybe he's like, oh, I didn't realize you guys serve meat, and like was like, upset or whatever. And one of the girls was like, F you, whatever. Um, I'm just going based off of what the rumor mill has out there about this guy, and then looking at different things that could be possible. Um, because I just don't think that this is his first time. I don't see anything that, you know, it's a very intimate, to use a knife like that. I mean, what's his thing with knives? Um, is she still missing? Yes. Yes, she's still missing. And thank you there, perspective. Appreciate that. I think we really need to ask ourselves, where was Brian going? Was he commuting from school? The only thing that I can think of is why you would put up that type of miles is if he was commuting to school and he was driving, like, you know, how many miles did you have to drive one way and back the other way? It's not like he was probably hanging out with friends, so he probably didn't care about the drive. I don't know. Um, I think him getting pulled over, like, I'm just waiting to see if they'll give me that body cam. I wanna see if he's in a white Elantra when he gets pulled over on 820 or 821 rather. And what's weird about that to me is that he gets pulled over on 821 and he's literally, like, right by, Idaho's campus. Um, but that next day, I wanna know what time it was at, and that next day was the start of school for both campuses. They started on 8/22, and Idaho, WSU and Idaho both starting on 8/22. So like people would be hanging out and partying the night before the first day of school. um, Anonymous Lucy, I honestly I haven't even checked to see if that's going on, but she's saying that I'm pretty sure that Kaylee's dad mentioned that they believed this had happened to others in a very early interview. I wonder who he was referring to. Yeah, I don't know if that has been said. I know that Kaylee's dad has mentioned that there was a possible connection, and that they don't want to talk about that yet, or they're not ready to, whatever the exact wording is. But I don't believe that this is going to be a Chris Watts situation, that he is going to be taking any type of plea deals. That's not what this is. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. He thinks he knows a lot. But I also believe that everybody is, innocent until proven guilty. So, because I'll be the first person to point out, when something doesn't smell right. Like the stuff with what's going on over there in Delphi, that doesn't smell right to me. Thank you there. Where's what's up, Dry Latina? I love her. Bella, what do you think? Mystical thinks he wants attention, yeah. Notoriety.
I think that he is a crazy serial killer.
Do you think he's so more of like you think a sociopath or a psychopath?
I think he's a psychopath but I need to see the crime scene.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Where I come from with this, because it's just going to seem like I'm someone online that's just saying whatever. I studied serial killers for many years. I got a position at a really big magazine because of my obsession, I guess, with serial killers and how much I studied them. And he is, from everything I can tell, a psychopath. He's done this before, in my opinion only. He likes the pomp and circumstance of it. He's going to go to trial. He is studying right now. He's studying all of the law enforcement officers that he's dealing with. He's sizing them up. He's seeing, and he thinks he's smarter than all of them. And it's a big game to him now that he's caught. And I don't know if he got caught on purpose, but he's obviously intelligent. But the most intelligent psychopaths that are killers, I'm talking about criminal psychopaths, not just a normal psychopath, are the ones who are never caught. So that he got caught brings down his intelligence a little. So he might want to know that. And I think that if they get someone in the interrogation, not interrogation, but because he's lawyered up, but someone to poke at him in that manner on the stand and be like, you're not smart, that if he takes the stand, that you'll see him.
I think he is going to take the stand.
You'll see him explode.
Yeah, I think he is going to take the stand.
Well, they better study that.
Do you think that you'd have a female question him?
No, I'd have a male question him. I would have a male question him who looks very similar to him in hairstyle, build, and I would say my pedigree. I would give my resume statement.
See, I think this is an experiment.
I think
this has been an experiment for him. He's this is I think he's living out his thesis in real life.
Absolutely. And he's meticulous. Okay. This guy is driven and he's meticulous. He lost weight. And not only did he lose weight, he went running for 6 or 7 miles. He only eats vegan. It's a very hard diet to follow. Not only that, he's like, please, no pans that touch meat. I mean, This is a very driven person. And if he's a psychopath, which is my opinion only, he can't grasp emotions and empathy and feel remorse. So he's not gonna, it's a game. Yeah. And in his mind, there's nothing wrong with what he did.
Yeah. I think that they need to look at like, I think he knows that it's wrong what he's done. I think that he's testing like how's like the system. I think he's testing, like I said, his MOs. That makes the most sense to me. Like the way you get caught is by an MO. So if he can master not having the same MO, then how are you going to label somebody? How do you know that you're looking for a serial killer when you go to other, I mean, you see it all the time. Hey, I'm trying to, let me know that cases that you have over there. Let me take a look at them. Oh no, these are like, somebody was shot or somebody was like basically kidnapped, missing persons. Well, this one is somebody went into the house and, that's not the same scenario as, Dana's, but do I think there is something that's similar? And I think that's the stalking part.
Mm-hmm.
The stalking part is the similar, is that he
hunts humans.
Well, he's an opportunist in the terms of when he comes across you, then he like studies you after that point, and he makes sure that you're going to be somebody that they were out drinking. Okay, Dana was out drinking. These girls were all out drinking. I think that's.
Do you think he has a problem with people who drink, or you just think it's an opportunity?
I think it's because I think the type of to overpower somebody when they're hammered is a lot versus when they're not.
But see, then I wouldn't use the term opportunist, because he is meticulous enough to plan that and be like, okay, I see these people, or I stalk them enough to know these people drink, so I'm going to catch them when they drink.
Well, they're having fun. So like everything that I've heard from everybody in the situation is how much fun they're having. Like Dana loved life, having fun. Right. Like he, I think, is envious of that because he doesn't have, remember Scott was saying like these people have something, they had something that he wanted or like that he didn't have. Dana's having the best time that night.
That laugh.
He has that laugh, has that smile. Kaylee has that laugh, has that smile. So I think that it's like people having fun, and when I say like the opportunity is going to present itself to when people are drinking, so, but I think more and more, I think that this is like nothing else anyone's ever seen.
Nothing anyone's seen. And imagine how that makes him feel.
Yeah, I think when all this stuff comes out, and more and more and more, like you guys think about it. For the type of person that he is, he's like when he would have heard the words, "We're looking for a white Elantra." What do you think was going through his brain at that point?
I think he was like,
he knows that he has a white Elantra. His parents know that he has a white Elantra, right?
His parents know he has a white Elantra.
Yeah, his parents know he has a white Elantra. He knows he has a white Elantra. His neighbors know that he has.
And he stayed there for 2 weeks longer after.
Yeah, and that's somebody that thinks that they could be so cool, calm, and collective to be able to,
That's the criminal psychopath, though.
Well, exactly. I think that's the blank stare. I think that's somebody that has no emotion.
Yes, and so someone that has no emotion, that's a heroin addict, is trying to get any kind of feeling that they can. Okay, he can't access those feelings. The only thing he can do is mimic people around him. But what you just said right now, and not all psychopaths, but criminal psychopaths are calm, cool, and collected. You will not.
You mean like career criminal? How long do you think he's been doing this?
I'm talking about not someone who's like a Wall Street psychopath, like someone who's like, goes to work and is a psychopath that doesn't kill or like commit crimes. I think that he is calm. You can't rattle him.
I think that there's a reason that he moved.
From, what do you mean?
I think that he knew that he had to move. There's a reason that he went to Washington.
Right.
And I think it's
You were
going to come
saying that.
out. Yeah, I think this is really important because he had to move because he had to do things like, you guys want to talk about this 10,000 miles? I don't think that he committed these crimes anywhere where he's like lived, except possibly. I want them to really look into Dana's case. I think that Dana's case could possibly be that, you know, like usually like your first kill, that's where you messed up, right?
Yeah, but he's a different breed. He's a totally different breed. We have not, criminal profilers are going to be falling over themselves to get to him and interview him, and he knows it.
Well, I just think he knew that he needed to move so that he could, like, he's not going to be able to, his parents knowing his pattern, like, where are you going? Like, what are you doing? You know, we all know where he went to school, right? They all talk about he did this and he went to this junior college, then he went to this place, and then he went to this place. I want to know where he lived. You know, did he ever have roommates? Did he live at home and did he commute? Okay. And you know, does his parents' house, something I would want to look at, does his parents' house have cameras? Do they have cameras?
I didn't see any, but I wasn't like, you know, we should look at that. We should look at those pictures. Think about, see, I'm a horror, I love horror movies.
He's a PhD student. He didn't just recently get his bachelor's. He just, I disagree with that.
No,
I mean,
what
this
does
is
it say?
that he, let me put that up there. Dr. Sleuth. I think that is his fun. I think we're giving him too much credit. Well, I think it's going to be interesting. Like, so, what's his play if there's no DNA in the car?
What would your play be if there's no DNA in the car?
I mean, if you can't tie, because normally you want to try to tie your victims to something of the perpetrator, versus because the perpetrator saying, yeah, I partied with them. Of course I drank out of that sippy cup, you know, something like that. Or, you know, saying that my dead skin was in the
sink.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean? Yeah, I've been there.
He better say he's been there if
You know what I'm saying? Like, I really think that they really needed to go to the public and ask for this white Elantra. And I'm just shocked that nobody at Washington. Okay. But you got a bunch of grads, so you got a bunch of families living there at this septo, but like, they don't see like this white Elantra. I mean, everybody's calling it in, right? And I'm kind of surprised, you know, JRL for him like driving around, how he didn't come across that Elantra. I just think that he was parking it somewhere.
Like underground. Or
well, no,
like
once December 7th came out and you're looking for white Elantra, you think he just like left it sitting in that parking lot?
I think like I think he tested it out. Maybe the first couple of days he put it somewhere and he realized nobody was onto him and he was just like elated. We'd have to ask some of his friends. But what I was saying is that you don't watch a lot of horror, but there's a lot of sorority horror movies. What is that?
Susan D. Hi, I hope this is a repeat. What are your thoughts on the audio detailing scene? Think it's him. Oh, the audio that's out there? No, I think that he's too disciplined for that.
Yeah, he's extremely disciplined. And Midge asked if we think that the dog being skinned was him. And I personally do not think.
No, I think it has to do with whoever was doing the coyote stuff. Like, yeah. Why would he go to the Happy Club? No, he went to, it's called Happy Hour Bar.
Oh, is that the Dana? They're talking about the Dana.
He got his bachelor's degree at 25, just 2020. Yep. And then in 2022, he got his master's. But what was he doing? How do you should have your bachelor's way before you're 25. You know what I'm
Look, he was
saying?
being a heroin addict.
Yeah, and guess what? He was driving around the Poconos to try to score this heroin. Well, guess where Dana was hanging out and doing this stuff. I have her stuff right in front of me. 2000 and Monroe County. Stuff in 2002, which that's not his time yet. But they were saying he was doing this stuff in high school, right? So this 2016, did Dana take one of his surveys? I mean, gosh.
And the people that took those surveys,
Like, where are they?
well, I'm telling you right now, the police know.
2017.
And they're kicking themselves because it was said anonymous when
Yeah.
your stuff's never going to be shared. And now look what's happening.
I would just love to be able to catch him off on something else that would, like, in any way help it. You know what I'm saying? Like, to help the to help these families in the courtroom.
I think that's important because another trait of a psychopath, criminal psychopath, is that they're very meticulous, and so they have a contingency plan for everything they
Yes,
do.
I think that he totally had a plan if he was to get caught. I also think that he told that defense attorney to release that statement about wanting to be exonerated. No defense attorney just says that on their own. So he would have been told to say that. So that's Bryan telling his public defender of PA to say that.
And I liked what you said when it first came out, that they halted. So they had this arrest at 1:30 a.m.
Yeah, he was on it. He had them do, like,
Right.
yeah.
So what'd you say?
When I saw that they had halted the removal, immediately I said, "Holy shit!" I said he had, like, it came across everybody. Oh, the courts had us do that. Yeah, because of his attorney.
Because of his defense.
Because of his
attorney.
because he would have said that.
Yes.
Because he's following along, right? So he's following along with everything. If he is following along, which I think that he would be, why wouldn't you? And when he's getting wind of that, they're going to do a cleanup. So, he immediately said that, hey, that needs, like, they can't do that. That needs to be preserved. Also, how about we ask ourselves this question? Was there ever a phone call that happened to him to say, hey, so-and-so, this is Police Chief Fry with the Moscow Police Department. We were wondering if you can come down and can we talk to you? Because we're not privy to this. So did that ever happen? Because why wouldn't you try to talk, to get this guy to talk? The way that they took him down, to me, like, why not try to talk, like, interview him?
I can't wait until this trial. This is like the stuff that I love, human behavior, and then the whole criminal mind. Like, they could have done that, Lana. They could have.
Maybe they attempted to, and he, didn't answer, didn't call them back. And so, but I just, they could have made up something.
Anything.
You know how the police could roll.
You know how it is.
Like, oh, hey, so-and-so said, that they saw you, they gave up your, whatever you want to say, that just to try to get him to talk, and to see, because when you take him down like that, he's not talking, he's lawyered up, like, boom, like, he's not saying anything. Oh, thank you there, Kelly Mac. Appreciate that. So I'm just curious as to, like, once they would have known, hey, who we're dealing with, and then they pull up all this stuff. Oh, they're probably like, wait, this doesn't make sense. Like, he's in the PhD program. Like, is this really the guy? You know what I mean? Is this really the guy? So
they are going.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that they wouldn't want to question him, or at least try to. But
well, they can't now. He lawyered up.
Well, no, because they took him down like that. Like, if you were to call and just say it how I said, like, hey, this is,
You think he would have fallen for it?
I would have just seen what he would have done. Like, that's why I think something's weird, but how do we know that his dad didn't call in or his mom didn't call in and say, "Hey, my son has that type of a car and I'm gonna fly out there. I'll make sure he gets home safe. I don't want him to get shot in the crossfires." And
Very well could have.
but I think that it was too long of a gap. Or maybe when he was home and they saw like how he was acting strange. But I'm just shocked that there was an attempt to try to talk to him. But maybe it will come out that we did try to talk to him.
Exactly.
Maybe it will come out that we did try to talk to him.
Exactly. And that drive home, the drive home with his dad, what did his dad notice? Because another thing about psychopaths, which again is my opinion only, it's more genetic. It's generally more genetic. So it's more nature versus nurture. And it would be something that his parents would have seen in him, for a long time. Like his blank stares, his not having emotions that normal people have, that you can't connect to him in that way.
I don't think people have asked me this, and I do want to say this is I don't think that anything would be weird with his dad flying out to drive back with him, especially if his whole life he never flew and he always drove. If his dad was like, if that was something planned. So I think that's going to be interesting if that ever comes out of, did Bryan ever just have like a plane ticket to go back and then he decided I'm just going to drive? Did he ever purchase a plane ticket?
I think
and then they got switched. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think so, because I think this guy likes to drive. Now we know he likes to drive because look at all the miles he puts on his car. So, did a lot of those miles come on when he was looking at, other colleges to go to before he chose, Washington? Like, when did he sign on the dotted line that he was going to enroll and he got accepted and he was going to Washington? One of the best programs, by the way. So he can't be, you have to have like the best grades. They're not going to take, with it being one of the best programs in the country, the school, I'm going to take the best people. But yeah, father-son time, exactly. Like, so I don't think that it would be weird for me if I'm like in his dad's position to think like, well, man, why does Bryan want me to come and drive back with him like that? No, like who wants, it's in the middle of the winter. Like he's not, maybe he's like, I don't want to drive it all by myself. Like it's,
we went over this.
So I don't necessarily think that that's weird. I think that I would want to know the timing of it, though. Like, when was that planned out?
I think that it's part of his contingency. I think it's something that Bryan put in place, knowing he was going to have to go back and hide out. And that's what he wanted, because instead of it being a lone male driving home, it's a father-son thing, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When you're getting pulled over.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, when did that, come about? Also, what if you guys, we don't know where that surveillance is from. Like, we're looking for this, Elantra or whatever. They could have just known that Bryan had that when they were,
100%.
and they were like, okay, here, we're going to go find a picture of where we can find something on the security and show people and say that we're looking for this, a lot, just so that it could possibly lead us to him. And that gives us a way in, but nobody got that lead to them, to say like, oh yeah, here, my neighbor, he has this. But I was just gonna say something.
You forgot.
Oh yeah, okay, so I'm gonna stick to this because I like this comment that Drelatina said. I think the cleanup announcement was a ruse by the police, and I don't think that you could possibly be correct, but they were doing stuff. They were taking stuff out of that home, okay. But I'm very interested to hear about Bryan's reaction to hear that there were people in that house the next morning. Like, when he finally got like, okay, they're going to do a press conference. So he gets to like hear this, right? And he hears that there were 2 people there. Oh, wow, I've been gifted a membership. We have some really amazing people here. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, who is? I can't see. I have to wait because I'm on the delay that everyone else is
Oh
on.
yeah, when we're on this thing, it's always delayed.
Yeah.
But like, so when you hear that and you're just like, wait a second, no, there wasn't. Like, think about that.
Mm.
Think about if we go back to this whole thing and like, because remember the police didn't really want to kind of talk about that. They were like, and we're not going to talk about the 911 call.
Right.
Okay.
Or how many people were here.
Yeah.
Or who
Mhm.
made the call.
But then you hear, wait, what do you mean the call originated? What do you mean it was one of the surviving roommates? Wait, somebody survived? You get like it could be like messing
Absolutely.
with him if you're intending on, because you gotta think to yourself here, why would he? I mean, you got this guy, but maybe that's part of it. Maybe
That's what I'm saying.
the psyche of it to think like how, hey, we're gonna look at these roommates. So, could they be? There's no trail out. So if there's no blood trail out, that means somebody that was in that home. You have to
Or
look at.
Look at it this way. In his mind, he's leaving a legacy. You're not dealing with a normal person. So he's leaving these two people and their lives.
Wait, hold on one second. John Miller, TNT, wake up. Trying to tell you WAV code.
That he's exempt because he is a student, I think he's trying to say.
He's exempt from what?
From getting a registration. I don't know. I think
he chose to do it. I'm saying he chose to do that. He switched his he switched his permanent address. That's what he did.
But listen, so like he's leaving behind this legacy with these two girls that for the rest of their lives are going to see those images in their head. To him, that is more powerful than killing them. He killed 4 people. That's his high. He is now doing more damage because he's leaving 2 people to survive and tell the tale. You understand?
I get what I totally get what you're saying, but I also think it was to. Then you're looking at it like, well, if these people also like, who's to say they didn't have a slumber party and they had people that were in their rooms as well?
100%. We discussed that before he got caught. It's like, this could literally be somebody that was just in, because they had an open door policy, someone that was sitting in their, they come home drunk and they're like, oh, look, Bobby Ray is in the house again. Like, who is this creep? Go up to their room and he saunters up there and kills them. Absolutely.
I think it was all part of an experiment, though. If you think about it, when people are like, how could somebody be in that home hearing nothing? How could nobody hear anything? That was what everybody was saying.
Right.
And it's like, and he's going to make people go through the agony of testifying.
Oh yeah, he is.
Like this is people that say he's going to take a plea deal.
No way.
No way in hell.
He is
not happening.
Them. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, you know what? So Mod Squad, do you have the link to become a member?
No, you are a member because you're in the chat, Dr. Sleuth.
Is she?
Yeah, because it's a members.
No. She super chatted.
Oh shoot! Sorry, Dr. Sleuth.
Yeah,
I can drop it too, but I don't know if you have an iPhone. I can drop it as well.
Yeah. See, I think this guy thought about things a lot. You guys, he did a survey. Like, you know what I'm saying? He did a survey. And I don't think he's representing himself whatsoever. That's not, you guys, public defenders have like unlimited resources. People, like, if you know what you're doing, Bryan's going to be telling them, hey, you need to get me this. When a public defender isn't going to be at their best is when the perpetrator and the person that's on trial is not smart enough to basically know that this lawyer should have done XYZ. So, but he knows it. You have endless money. He's going to have the best defense. He's going to have everything that he wants.
We have not seen somebody that has done something this horrendous with his kind of motive ever. That I can forget Ted Bundy. Forget Ted Bundy. The closest thing to this, and the guy, and what I say is a Hollywood slasher. Look him up. He killed in Illinois, then he went to Hollywood and killed, and he got away with the one in Illinois until stuff started getting. He left a survivor. He messed up, but this guy is a criminology it not even major, like he's a lifelong student of criminology, you guys. Like, I mean, I don't know. Everyone wants to interview him.
He won't defend himself. He's going to take the stand. I think he's not going to defend him. He doesn't need to.
Right.
He's going to try to win. He's going to try to beat this.
Absolutely.
And he's going to do it with the state's money.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to use his public defenders. He's not just going to have one. He's going to have multiple defenders. And he's going to use, like I said, if I'm just praying that there is DNA. I'm praying because anybody out there that's saying that they have come out on the record and said there's DNA, that's not been said anywhere that there's DNA. That doesn't mean that they don't have it. Okay, it just what kind? What is it? Transfer? Is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? I just want. I want them to have the strongest case possible, and I just think that. Why do you think that they came out and in the press conference and said we want everything to do with this guy, his background, his past, dig into everything? It's because like they need that. They're gonna need that.
They will. This is a good opponent for them, and they have enough really smart prosecutors. They just need to utilize a little bit of psychology in doing this, and they can get to him. They need to understand he's playing a game. And I think they will, because I think a lot of behavioral profilers and a lot of intelligent people are going to come forward and just.
I agree, Cowboy. He said if he goes free, Mr. Thomas will be waiting. I agree. So I think I'm actually shocked that PA is going to play a court hearing. PA does not. They don't like cameras in their courtroom, so I don't know how that's going to fly. I don't know.
It's going to be what time?
It's at 3 tomorrow.
3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Eastern.
And then Scott's going to be on here, so
that's going to be amazing because Scott pretty much hit the nail on the head. See, everyone was like saying, well, he doesn't know the names. He doesn't need to know the names. All he needs to know is the circumstances, because that's what he does for a living, you guys. Like, the names weren't important. It was the circumstances. And he pretty much he got things right.
I don't think anyone's going to come to his defense with it just depends on I just want to see what this probable cause says. I think this probable cause, it's you're trying to tie somebody that has no ties to somebody unless they're there, and the motive, and you got somebody that has no criminal background. You got somebody that's teaching it and whatnot, and
what are they going to do if he says, yeah, I've been in that house, I've been invited to parties at that house,
yeah, I've done drugs with them,
I've taken showers there, I've washed my hands there.
It'll be in Idaho, so it'll be televised. It'll definitely be televised because it's gonna be in Idaho. But if this was in PA, good luck. They don't want camera. They don't want anything in the courtroom. Yeah. See, I think a female prosecutor would. I think that Bill should bring in someone special to cross him. I think he takes the stand.
I don't think it matters in that sense. I think what matters is pedigree for him and intelligence. And he already thinks everyone's dumber than he is anyways. So the more you can mimic him.
Hi, Patty. Love you. Happy New Year, Patty.
Patty.
Hey, Carrie. Welcome. All the new members, welcome.
Yeah, welcome to the family. This is a great place to be, you guys, and a great place to donate a member, be a member to. You actually get content.
Oh, please provide a link to become a member, love.
I'll drop the link. I have the mods are drinking. The mods are dropping the
The mods are drinking.
the mods are dropping the thing link. The
mods are
iPad
damn
link.
hammered over here. Oh, that was funny. The mods are drinking the juice. But yeah, I definitely you know, where the knife could be anywhere. Obviously he drives all over the place. I think they're gonna have to scour right now his bank records. And I hope they just have like good people to do it. Like somebody that has good eyes to catch stuff, because this dude, I'm telling you, he is I'm waiting patiently for a couple of these body cams, because I think the world should see Bryan when he got pulled over for his ticket there, that he was cited for his seatbelt.
Well, we're gonna get it. It's just gonna.
It's
They're inundated.
Yeah, that's. I thought we would already have it by now. Come on, get on. Come on, who needs New Year's? Come on, let's go. No,
You
no,
know
actually,
that they
like,
were closed.
yeah, they've been awesome.
Yeah, and you know they were closed today already.
Yeah,
Okay,
they've been awesome though.
absolutely.
We
Can't name names, or we would.
Yeah.
Want to take.
I just want to give props to the records department and the people that have had to deal with this in Idaho. Kudos to you, they know who they are. But LOL, Lana, I have a hunch it's part of the investigation, so they won't send it. Nah.
They probably will.
Yeah.
They've been really cool with stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm also, since I'm a student of Peter Heights, if you guys don't know, psychopaths also, and again, it's just my opinion, they use speech to conceal their thoughts. So I can't wait till I can hear him talking and what he says.
I think there's a chance we're going to hear the 911 call.
You do?
I do.
You think Officer Fry is thinking about releasing it?
I do.
Okay.
I think that.
I hope you're right. I'm doing this for it.
Yeah, I think that they're gonna. I mean, if they're gonna redact anything, I just think that they would redact things out of, maybe some witnesses' names. I mean, if somebody came through and was like, hey, there is this one guy that was been around, or and maybe leaving like that name, like a witness that would be testifying to to certain situations. But I think for the family's sake, I mean, we would get the pretty you guys heard them. They've been pretty transparent with that. Like I like Bill's, hey, it's as soon as we can get him here and we can get that out, we want to get that out to you guys. Like, we want to give you guys what we can. We're not gonna jeopardize the case.
Right.
So I think that they'll make whatever decision they make. I'm behind it, because I think that they've done. The one criticism I will say is they should have put out the video of them walking to the Grubhub all together. That's a video that should have came out with Jack S and or Hoodie Guy or whatever. But I think that should have came out.
And I hope it does.
Well, no, it did. I mean, it came out, but it should have came out in the beginning. It should have when that Twitch video came out, that should have came right behind it. That's my only that was on the media, or not the media. That's on law enforcement. Could have put that out. So that would be my only thing. I just think it would have shown that this guy isn't, just some guy that was stalking them in the background.
Just
they walked together from somewhere else. And
yeah.
I mean, people could still have that suspicion, of like, okay, was this like a weird type of encounter still? But to be walking down like that, I think that there was no reason that, even if it would have just been played with no audio, if
Yes.
you want to not have, you just play it without any audio, but just to be able to show that they were, together. And you can kind of see that they were because of how they all appear like that, but you never know how that could look. So I just think that would be my only criticism with that.
I mean, it gave us a run because like it was just so weird. He didn't, or like there was a lot. We all know.
And I think that
was.
if the media would have asked better questions at the press conference,
Yes!
then you know what? So I blame the media that
Yes,
asked.
it's their
I
fault.
blame the media that's there throwing
Wait, I have a list.
the most ridiculous
I have
questions.
a list starting with the Idaho Statesman.
Yeah. And then, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, think about it. Like, this doesn't happen there, and I mean, I don't care where this would have happened. Nobody's prepared to walk into something like that. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're in the city. It doesn't. To me, you're not. You got to just stick to your fundamentals, stick to your procedures, and when you do things like every day with the right way, it pays for situations like this.
Yeah.
Because then you don't mess it up.
They want a conviction, they don't want this arrest. They want the conviction. We all do, right? So prayers for the family.
Yeah.
Oh.
How amazing was that to have that news break though on Maddie and Kaylee's like celebration of life? I thought that was.
I did too, and
because
remember how like Mr. Gonsalves always said,
"Welcome to the new member there, DB."
DB.
Welcome.
Remember how he said like he thought that the killer would be in the audience, and that's why he didn't want to have that. Like he didn't want to have like a memorial he wanted to wait to have one. And I just now seeing that if it's Bryan, yeah, he probably would have been there.
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't think he was there. Because I don't think he needed to go anywhere. I don't think that these people would need to go anywhere when it's just all being put out on social media. I think that anybody that posted on that 4chan and wrote the disgusting stuff that they put out there, they should be IP banned for life.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think that should be a crime.
Yeah,
that's disgusting.
I hope that there is like maybe they can make.
And for anybody to like run those type of sites and leave that stuff up there is just by God.
I think that there should be something called like Kaylee's Law or something because the stuff that they said about her was like horrific.
So, but all right, we're going to wrap this up. Make sure you guys check out the beginning of this video, please, because,
yeah, it's important. Dana's missing still, and there might be some ties. There might not be ties, but there might be ties, and maybe crowdsourcing it can help.
Yeah, and to be looking at stuff. You guys, this guy drove, okay? This guy had no problem driving places because he's not going to try to like, I like to say that you're not supposed to, you don't shit where you eat type of thing.
Right.
But he wore protective gear, supposedly. I'm interested to hear, or half protective gear. I'm interested to hear what that's even all about. But so start looking around the areas of. It's not even just like going to be Pennsylvania, but I think that's stuff that would have popped up over here in the past year to 2 years. So, all right. Thank you for all the mods in here. Boston, Bella, Mike dropping. How was your dance? Hopefully it was good.
She said, "I'm dropping and drinking" because I made that mistake of saying there. All of them are drinking.
Amy, welcome. All the new members, welcome. Yeah, I just like to keep it to a nice, good conversation. There we go. Yes. So nice to see so many new green people. Yes. Oh, thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, and all of you guys are great. Like when you can have good conversation with the chat and it's okay to discuss things. It's okay. And it's okay to speculate on things. And it's okay to present some, possibilities, probability, thing like that. We try to do it as respectful as possible and respect each other when we're doing it. So again, tomorrow's the hearing, 3:00. I'll go ahead and make a thumbnail and a link for that. Scott Roeder will be with me. It will be open chat to subscribers. I will have it though, at probably a 45-second. That way, we can at least see what the heck you guys are writing because it's so fast. I can't even grab the questions. But we'll check out the hearing. We'll see what goes on. And then I'm excited to hear and talk with Scott and hear what's up.
And you guys are going to want his perspective because when he didn't even know this case totally well, he nailed it. So imagine what he knows now.
Yeah. Yeah, he pretty much nailed it and not even seeing the crime scene. So, all right, guys.
This is way better than the Nextdoor app, says Mandy Joe. That was the best thing to hear.
This is way better than the Nextdoor. What's the Nextdoor app? I need to look at that. I don't even know what it is. Oh, hey, great news, guys. Great news. Before I close this out, great news. I have some updates coming for stuff with Davon, stuff with Sherry. I was able to have an amazing conversation with one of her old neighbors and longstanding friends. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere with stuff with Sherry, really, really putting together a good timeline. So keep Sherry's family in your prayers. Keep Sherry in your prayers. Keep Dana's family, and then obviously all the families of Idaho, the University of Idaho, all the students. So. But yeah, I'm excited to get to the truth, to get this timeline of when's the last person and when's the last time that somebody saw Sherry. That's huge because it's not what has been reported. And if anybody out there is listening right now and you know something, please just email. You can do it anonymously. Make yourself a fake account, an email account, and just send some proof with it, screenshots. If you have surveillance out there, if you have a Ring camera, people with the Dana case. Okay, I'm going to be talking to Dana's sister here. Dana, can you imagine just literally go to your neighbor's house, which is a couple doors down. You're there for just not that long, and you're on a Ring camera, and then you're just gone. Wait, what? But then your phone, which you had on you, somehow ends up back in your home. So maybe this person that did that was going to go into the house and they kind of chickened out and they just snatched her instead. You know what I'm saying? Because it was one of their, it was building up to be able to do. I'm telling you, this is just right around the corner from Bryan. It was a long weekend, May 28th, and the circumstances are at a bar. You know what I mean? Followed somebody home, followed those. It's just very simple. Take a look. All right, guys. Scott Roeder tomorrow.
Give him a time-ish.
Thank you, Lana. You're the best. Super excited. I thought you said, Lana, you're the best. Super excited human. It's at 3:00 tomorrow, guys. Because that's the hearing starts at 3. So I'll probably start the thumbnail and everything at 2:45.
That's Eastern
Standard. But as soon as I put the link up right here, when I get done with this, I'll put it up, and then you guys can just go to the channel, and then just when you go to it, you're going to see upcoming, and then just click the notify, and it'll notify you right when I go live. But yeah, the hearing starts at 3 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you.
Jan.
Yes.
Jean.
All right, guys. Good night. And if you didn't see the stuff at the beginning, please watch the beginning. It's about how, could Bryan be at all involved with what happened to a woman in the Poconos on May 28th, 2022. Dana Smithers. All right, guys. Talk to you soon.